This is a really brief tutorial on writing cues. First of all, what is a cue? Well, there are lots of different terms for it. You might hear the term cue, intro, presenter cue, or link, but there are many ways within the industry. So your intro or cue is an introduction to an item, a report, a soundbite, interview, vox pops, etc. It gives a flavour of the story to come, but it doesn't necessarily tell you everything. It leaves the viewer wanting to find out more. The first sentence contains what we call the newsline. That's the most important piece of information. Why exactly is this story news? The second sentence explains it and gives context, and it can be in 2 sentences if it's a really complicated story. The third sentence tells us what's coming up next. Let's take a look at a cue and break it down. President Trump is meeting American car manufacturers today in a bid to boost jobs in the United States. So that's the most important point. That's the story. He's going to tell them that if they want to sell cars in the States, they need to build their new plants there as well. That's explaining the story. But why is he doing this? This story needs a third sentence, the context. Yesterday, one of his first acts as president was to withdraw the United States from a major Asia trade agreement, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Then we need to know what's coming up next. Our correspondent Richard Lister reports. Let's take a look at Sophie actually presenting this cue.
President Trump is meeting American car manufacturers today in a bid to boost jobs in the United States. He's going to tell them that if they want to sell cars in the States, they need to build their new car plants there as well. Yesterday, one of his first acts as president was to withdraw the United States from a major Asia-Pacific trade agreement, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Our correspondent Richard Lister reports.
If there was one...
So there you have it, a cue or an intro or a link or a presenter cue. Remember, what's the most important point? Put it into context and perhaps explain a little bit of the background to the story. If it's complicated, then you might need to add 1 or 2 more sentences for clarity, and then tell the audience what's coming up next.